Okay. All right. Well, welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to come join training on your new theater sound system. If you guys don't know me, I'm Jeffrey Hoffman. I'm with Tech Electronics. I got my colleague Brandon over here as backup. We're just going to do an overview of all the components we have here in the auditorium. We're going to start here at the rack and then move over to the back where the mixer is at. So just going over everything we have in the rack, I'd like to just kind of spell it out for everybody. So up here, we're going to have all of our video receivers. These we should not need to mess with or interact with in any way. Going back down, we have our hearing assist. So what this is, it's a listening assist for those who are hard of hearing. So any program audio that is coming through the system will also go to this receiver as well. And then we have our nice carrying case with, bend down for a second, just to pull one of these out, with our hearing assist receivers. And then back here underneath the Velcro, we have all of our headsets and everything. And turn these on, you just hold the power button, it'll come on. And this one has low battery. It's on channel E. We'll hold it back down to power it off. And we're powered off. So this is what those who will need a little hearing boost will end up using.
How many are there?
We have 8.
There's chargers in there.
So this case actually doubles as a charging case. So it has a power block in there. Let me get this closed all the way. Oh yeah. And then you'll actually plug it in right there on the side. More than welcome to. Yep. All right. And moving down the line, we have our brains, our control processor, our video switcher. Those we won't need to interact with. We got our wireless HDMI connection right there with immersive, network switch. So most of the stuff up here we're not going to need to interact with at all. Moving down the line, we have all of our wireless receivers. All these are marked wireless 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those will correspond with our different wireless transmitters. So we have all of our microphones here in the drawer. Each of them are labeled 1 through 4. Your on and off switch is going to be on the front. It'll give you a battery indicator. And then we also have an indication here on the receiver that we have a connected transmitter. It also displays the battery level up here as well, and then how strong our RF connection is with it. So I'll go ahead and click that off. I'll keep this guy with me. Yes?
Jeff, before you move on,
yes.
the hearing assist, is that already on when you power up the unit? Is it already on? Will it already be there other than turning on the little hand things? Where do you have back there?
So everything here is connected to our main power sequencer. So when we turn on our main power sequencer, everything will come on. So you won't need to power on each individual device. You just have one location where you power on the entire rack.
Okay.
So make it nice and easy.
Because you started with that session and this is going to be powered down when I get here. So you may want to back up just a bit and say, okay, when you come here, if it's powered down, you need to do A, B, and C.
Sure.
So bring
Yeah.
it in.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. So we're going to go ahead and power this down. So right now we are powered on. We have that on light on our sequencer. All 6 of our outlets are on. We'll just toggle flip it. It'll start blinking off, and then it'll go and individually shut down each component in a certain order. So we'll let it go through its process. Takes about 30 seconds, maybe a little bit less. Okay, and the rack is powered down. Some of the components are going to stay on, like our control processor and our video switching gear, but the rest of these components are off currently. So this is how we'll come up to it. If it's powered down, we'll come down to our switch.
Is this thing, before they start looking at what normal to see is there going to be any covers over this? Are they actually going to see this, or is there going to be a cover on this?
They were designed to be on the shelf as is.
Okay, so this is what they're actually going to see.
Correct.
Is there a big cover?
I don't believe there was a door.
Yeah, it's right back here.
Right, that is the back door. So the front would have like a kind of vent on it and everything. I can check with my project manager.
Well, I think so, because you know you can see the dust is just horrible in there right now.
Right.
And you know, with another 10 years from now, you know, it's just going to be 3 times as worse, or even worse. So.
Right. I will.
I'm just asking
But
every
this would be
question.
nice to lock it, right?
Yeah.
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 Sure.
We just don't want
Anybody.
anybody in here playing around with it.
Right.
Oh, hey, cool. Let's see what's this button do.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. I will definitely touch base with Alan, and we'll just go with, hey, we have a need for a door, so we'll get that taken care of. Absolutely. So to power it on, we're just gonna hit the switch once. We'll see on starts blinking, and it's gonna start and go through its process. Little by little. Got one more. All right, and we are fully powered up now. So we went over our wireless units, we went over our handhelds, but we also have lapel mics as well. There's going to be kept down here in the second drawer. Pull one of these out. And we have our lapel mics right there. So for these lapels, each of these, we have 4 of them, just like we have 4 handhelds. So each of these are assigned to one receiver. The important thing to know is if we're using, let's say, wireless 1, for example, and we have wireless 1 lapel, wireless 1 handheld. We technically can't do that at the same time because we have 2 transmitters trying to talk to the same receiver. So we're going to have audio problems there. So you would end up doing either or. So either doing a handheld or a lapel microphone for a single receiver. But of course you could do a handheld with wireless 1, lapel with wireless 2, lapel with 3, and a handheld with 4. But as far as the different transmitters on the same receivers, it causes issues.
Can you tie more wireless units into this?
Yes, we have 3 more open XLRs here on our digital snake, but then we also have 16 inputs on our mixer as well. So 19.
So if you wanted, how do you then tie it into the back from front, or what's the process?
So the process would be, are we installing the wireless units up here, or?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
It would be easier to do it back at the mixer. We have more room back at the mixer. We only have 3 inputs up here. We got 16 back there.
So you'd have to have the wireless units back there, the whole rack. You'd have to have another rack potentially. Then you could tie it into the mixer back there.
So where the mixer is installed right now is actually a portable mini rack.
Okay.
And that I believe we have about 4 or 5 RUs of space available. So if we need to expand on our wireless mics, that's where I would recommend we do it at. Going back down, we have our digital snake. You'll notice this is kind of just sitting there on the shelf. We are waiting on a rack mount kit to make this look prettier. So nothing, we shouldn't really need to interact with this thing at all. This is where all of our microphone inputs, our hanging mic inputs, our wireless, any program audio coming from the projector, and then our outputs to our hearing assist and our amplifier is all happening right here.
So all this stuff is supposed to be, like the microphones should be good to go out of the box, turn the mic on.
Yes, absolutely. Yep, those are already preset for you. Absolutely.
When the other snake gets here, will it then be routed through the back of the components as opposed to the front? Or?
So the piece that we're waiting on is just the rack mount kit to get this mounted on the rack rails here. So the cables will be dressed better than this, but they ultimately will come out of the front and then back through these brush plates here. So we already went over where we kept our wireless mic handhelds down here as well, along with our lapel microphones. We also just have our standard dynamic microphone. This guy does not have a on-off switch on it, so when you plug it into the unit, plug it into the wall, you're live until you ultimately unplug it. So we got 2 of these here in this drawer for you. I'm sorry?
They're hardwired in, why don't they have switches?
This specific model doesn't have switches on it. I can check with Alan to see if we need to swap it around to one with an actual physical toggle switch on it.
Well, I think it would be probably good if they put them on standing out here.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to shut them off, that way somebody's gonna come by.
Right. Right, absolutely.
Are those Sures?
These are Sures.
58, 57?
I'm going to step back here. 58.
58.
SM58.
Yeah, SM50.
Without the switch.
Just without the switch, yes. But I
But
will,
we have a mute on the board, right?
So you have to, from the board, you'd have to.
from the board, we'd have to mute them. I will add it to my list on things I need to check with Alan. So we can see about getting these switched around for you. So right now we just have 2 of these, 4 25-foot long XLR cables in here for you to plug into the microphone and ultimately the input plate. Put that down here. We have a few extra microphone stand holders. This is our projector remote. Yes?
Are those inputs still in front of the stage?
Yeah. So we can go ahead and go into that. So all of our physical microphone hardwired inputs, we have 4. We have 2 on the front of the stage. So 1 is going to be over here in the corner. 2 is going to be right in the center in the front. 3 is going to be back here right behind this curtain. And then 4 is on the other side behind that curtain. So those are all of our hardwired microphone inputs. We have 3 hanging microphones right above you. And of course our wireless units. I'm sorry? They are already on. We will handle that at the mixer.
That's back there.
Yes.
Is there any kind of comm system so that like stage managers can talk to the sound tech and the lighting tech?
Oh, like a ClearComm solution. We're strictly just installing the Pro AV. So we were not contracted to do any ClearComm, any sort of that installation. Glossed over something over here. So we're gonna go back to the middle of the rack. So we have HDMI input 5 and our wireless right here. This had to go here just because our wireless HDMI connection has to sit here in the rack. So that one is gonna stay plugged into that input. But of course we can always switch to it. We have HDMI 5. HDMI 1 and 2 are eventually going to be in the back by the mixer once we get those parts in. 3 and 4 are going to be over here on top of mic 1. And then 5 and wireless are, of course, back here. And if we move over to the right here, this is going to be our projector control and our video switching control. So we got our on and off button here. If we select the on button, it's going to turn on the projector and drop the screen at the same time. And then we will switch our inputs here with HDMI 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and wireless. And then we have an AV mute button here as well. If we need to, mute the AV on the screen for whatever reason. So we have one of these here, hard mounted into the rack. Once we get our other pieces in, we're going to have a second one over here on the corner outside of the stage, and then our last one is going to be back of house with the mixer as well. So that is everything here at the...
The projector is on one HDMI one.
The projector can get any of these inputs.
Okay.
So HDMI 1,
Which is wherever we plug
yeah, wherever you plug your laptop in, you would say, hey, I'm at HDMI 3, and then we'll switch over to HDMI 3. So that is everything we have here at the main stage rack. Do we have any questions?
You know, we just have the stage rack sit there. I mean, we propose to put that against the wall,
Okay.
not just sit inside. We can literally wait to do like once.
Right.
Kind of sit out there too far right now.
Right. I know lighting was still working back there and everything, and so they may have moved it out to actually do work back there because it's. Yeah, they did. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we'll find a nice permanent home for it once all the contracting work is completed. Okay.
Mixer question. So my overall question is about like head mics
Mhm.
and talking back and forth between there. It's like that you don't haven't had that set up, but knowing more about how you would add that in, maybe not even through your company, but like, you know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna need that.
Is the mixer capable of handling that system if we add it?
Yes,
Yes.
it is an option that we did explore, but there's some added components and stuff that would have to be taken care of. So
Right.
it is a possibility that can be reviewed later.
Okay. All right. So we are all done up here. We're going to be moving to the
We
back.
shut everything down to normal,
Mm-hmm.
and if someone comes in, whether it be Sean or them that come in here to use it, let's go ahead and let's let them drive the car, so to speak. Let's shut it down, let them come in, let's somebody decide who wants to do it.